really far into the game because we're going to be doing the NightLight today. Yeah. I don't know. I mean, hey, it is technically an item in the game, and it is unique just by itself. I just need to, get a pretty good distance into it to be able to use this thing at all. So the entire deal is that this is a way for you to create a little bit of temporary light in the sepulcher, which is nice and everything, but it does have its own ability to attack, despite the extremely, extremely long cooldown. And the weapons that I have right now are going to be pretty effective with it, due to the whole covers ground in oil and burns around you, which only makes sense. It is the NightLight, after all, which I guess I would associate that with lanterns. Maybe not so much dropping a grenade, but burning the ground? Sure. Then with a shovel with burn synergy, as well as the Mushroom Boy, I think that this is... I mean, it's not going to be impossible to make this run work. It's just going to be very weird to use this as... I guess I can't even use it as a primary source of damage. It has a 2-minute cooldown, which is far too much. But I suppose, given that I did in the last episode die in the sepulcher, that maybe this could have done me some more good than I'm willing to admit. Yeah. Well, anyway, one of the things that I should have probably thought about before starting up the whole run here is perhaps getting some cooldown reduction next area I go to. I think what I'm going to do is try and get something like a Blind Faith, cooldown reduction on parries, or... Well, I suppose there's no critical on this weapon, so Instinct is not going to work too well. Then again, if I get anything that does any sort of slow stuff, I can also get the... what is that mutation called? The one that gives you slowdown equates to damage reduction on melee hit. Could be pretty nice. And that's not too bad of a weapon or anything, but I really want to stick around with a shovel right now. It's a nice, fast survival weapon, even if it might not be the most special thing when it comes to a survival run. This is normally survival scaling, after all. 30 seconds left. And then I can get that light back up again. Now, in the sepulcher, there are several things that do increase your light amount, killing enemies, as well as obviously going into the lights that already exist in this area. But if you are entirely unfamiliar with the layout of this place and generally how all the enemies go, usually like to play the game a little bit slower and more cautiously than I generally do, I do think the NightLight could be pretty useful. It's just, to be honest, for me, I know that more often than not, all you gotta do is just make sure you are rushing through every single area you possibly can, and you'll be just fine. Because, you continuously kill enemies, you'll keep that light up. You can usually... The way that the colonnades are spaced out in... Oh, is this actually better than what I'm using? No, it's almost the exact same, in fact. Oh, well. I guess I actually want the burn more than anything else, just because of... the NightLight is not going to be providing that too much here. Yeah, the colonnades are spaced out in a way that they appear near all of the teleport pads, which are pretty... regular throughout the dungeon, as they are in any area, to make sure that the whole fast travel thing is actually worth using. They will appear in each one of these little level chunklets, usually in a way that it's just the temporary ones, but that's good. They'll also pop open if you find a wall rune, but not a floor rune, as well as if you defeat an elite, that will give you a permanent light source on top of all of that. So if you're a little bit... worried about maybe one area being unfairly darkened, you can really just kind of lure an elite over there and have some sanctuary that you can go back to constantly. Which then leads me to, the NightLight itself. 2-minute cooldown is pretty hefty. I mean, yes, you can set up some stuff with it, but losing an entire slot just for this alone, I don't know if it's quite worthwhile. And I think that, yeah, without any sort of damage reduction... That was a cool parry. Without any sort of damage reduction, that it's like, this is... it's pretty unusable in terms of dead cells. 2 minutes is quite a long time in this game, after all. Yep, there's Colonnade open up right there. And there's a little bit of healing if worse comes to worse, which... Well, we'll see. I don't know. Needless to say, it hasn't been going super great since the start here, but I haven't died yet either, so I'm going to call that one a win. I don't know. I mean, I don't think that this is really a weapon intended to be used legitimately as any sort of damage dealer. It's just, hey, as a power, it does have a pretty powerful suite of potential mutations that it could have. It's not quite the same thing as, say, the smoke bomb here, but you do get stuff like it covers the ground with oil, burns ground, you know, maybe, I don't know if, like, bleeding when the effects ends or, like, throws oil on the ground when the effects ends is, like, a common thing. I usually only see the oil and fire more often than not. I gotta say, I'm not entirely sure what else it can have on it, but hey, as it is, if I could use this a little bit more frequently, it would just kind of be a bad version of a bad and very biome-specific version of the fire grenade or something. So there's stuff you can do here. It's just, there's no way that there could possibly be a this weapon-only run ever at any point in time. Anything else? Anybody got some 100% on oil and burning? Because I do like my my mushroom boy that I've been carrying along with me, but it is of a fairly low level compared to what I could be getting in this biome. I got him pretty early in the run. Yeah, that's not too shabby, but is also kind of like a better version of what I'm already using with this weapon right now. And yes, the only place you can even... Okay. Yeah, I'll go with this. I think that'll be a little bit better burst damage. Not going to get like the pushing around or anything, but I don't really need an autonomous sort of attacker right now that I have no more curse chests, I hope, in the rest of the game. I can only pray that they do not tempt me with more curse chests at this point in time. So yeah, I think this should synergize well too. You know, oil, it also spreads inflammable oil. It also has spreading inflammable oil on the shovel. There's one nice greased up shovel. You can really cook pocket pie on this thing when you're down in the mines. This is stuff that people know about, right? Anyway, yeah, so there's stuff here. I don't know, but as you can see, usually there are the occasional very long hallways that kind of really mess up your whole deal when they don't give you any light sources in it. But even then, if you're really rushing through, you should be okay most of the time. I mean, the fact that it also does require a pretty hefty purchase cost and everything too, I just feel like it's not... I don't know. Maybe this is coming from the elite position of knowing Dead Cells inside and out. I'm not quite sure how often people actually use the NightLight. I do know that Sepulchre is one rough area to go through the first couple times you're doing it, especially if you're really looking to full clear areas and stuff like that. It's just... I don't know if the NightLight quite helps with that. It's just a little bit too long of a cooldown. You just get impatient, right? You know, I would get impatient. And again, I'm probably just looking at this too much from my own perspective here. Oh, wow! That is one hell of a Scythe Claw. Worth picking up? It doesn't really have anything to do with the run. No, that doesn't really have anything to do with the run. I kind of need to have something that synergizes with the whole weapon that I'm trying to work with. I'll take a look else, though. I mean, I'm kind of looking for, like, Seismic Strike with burning oil synergy. That would be the thing that I'd really like to see more than anything else. Because that's a good combination. You can get some stuff out of that. Like I said, it works well with it's called Heart of Ice, right? The mutation that gives you cooldown reduction on melee hit when you freeze, root, whatever an enemy. And it's like, you're always doing that because that's the major gimmick of that weapon. And that would be pretty good for getting the most out of my Light of the Night. At least that's the way I see it. As it is, I want to kind of pick and choose what we're going to be doing next for... Okay, fine then. Maybe I'll just use a potion charge at this point. I know I don't necessarily need to. I could just go back and get that one cherry that I left there, but I would rather not die. Besides, I still have more than enough money, even after my shopping spree there, to be able to potentially get to the potion charge in the 5-cell spoiler area, which is kind of what I'm relying on right now, I'd like to say. Hey, can I say that those guys... Nope, not entirely. Not in the exact way that I wanted them to. You know what? Screw it. You know, forget about risk aversion and all that. I'm doing this. I know I was saying it's like, oh, I really got to pick and choose what area I want to be using this nightlight in. And I'm just like, well, I'll just use it right now anyway. I see if it works on these bats that go down in a single hit. And I got hit with him anyway. Ain't that what you kind of expect out of this series, though, at this point? That's what I'd say. Well, anyway, hey, I'm finally starting to get like some decent statage. No bonus stats at all over the course of this run, which is frustrating. I got no... I got no... got no, like, challenge rifts, got no extra curse chest appearing, nothing at all. I even seriously considered maybe just going and sacrificing that mushroom boy to the Mama Tick, and didn't end up doing it, obviously. Yeah, because I wanted to see what the legendary item was if I just went for the concierge instead. But that would have meant even less stats on top of everything else. It's this could otherwise be a little bit rough, but I am working with normal mode without the usual restrictions on builds, at least up to this point, so it wasn't too bad. There were some good items there. I mean, yeah, having to use a singular item does kind of get in the way when it comes to really building a run, especially at this point in time where Motion Twin wants you to really try and play around with different weapons as you go through the game. It's like, I can't really do that in this particular case. Wow. Should have went and got that cherry, I guess, if it was going to be this easy to get this many kills. And then, obviously, Clock Tower, because if this is going to be kind of an abridged episode due to the difficulty of getting this thing, I might as well make this as long as possible, right? That's how I see it. Maybe go into the castle, I guess. Try and get all 3 keys. I think there's some stuff you can do there. And then as for everything else, I'll take a... Yeah. Blind Faith, first off. 5 seconds with each successful parry is quite a few parries. Now, I don't know if that means just melee parries or if that also means ranged parries, which I'm definitely going to be getting in this fight. But, you know, needless to say, I kind of hope for that. Do I have anything that works with Heart of Ice? Victims slow down nearby enemies when they die? I guess that's what I'm going to be kind of hoping for. Not going to be relevant here, but if I get a big boy, big combos in the next area, that could be good. And of course, Gastronomy I think is just a safe bet if you're not taking any other healing. Sure, Necromancy is nice and everything, but it's not really the sort of thing that is going to be making or breaking a run where you get down to half health. Okay, now bam, bam, and let's go. Okay. I think that I can say pretty conclusively that this does work with ranged parries, or at least it seems like it. Yep, it sure does. Okay. Come on. This is a good fight for parrying, let me tell you that. And that's why I definitely also want to come here. I mean, I guess both of the second bosses are good fights for parrying, but you know what I'm saying here. Okay. Unfortunately, I did get hit trying to get that parry, but that's okay. I don't know. I feel pretty confident in my build right now and its ability to take out the Timekeeper. Come on. Dead. Still, Gastronomy should be fine when it comes to ending this one. Fortunately, the 20 seconds means that, yeah. That's that, though. Hey, I was able to keep the fire and the oil going on pretty much the entire time, so I'm gonna say more or less a success. Like, it's not... Obviously, again, you could use pretty much anything. You don't have to necessarily use a NightLight in particular, but... Also, the NightLight just disappears when I guess it's not inside the Sepulchre, which is interesting. And yes, I am thinking right now, hey, wasn't there a thing that you could put on in custom mode to make it so that all the areas were dark? And it's like, dang, I did forget about that. I just started up a normal mode run and was like, yeah, that should be good. Well then. All right, well, let's get over to, I guess, yeah, I was saying the castle before. I think castle's probably a good a good way to continue up this run. Continue up this run, yes. Can't even use this here. Cooldown so intense. Is this cooldown going camping? Because it seems pretty intense. This might be something of a risk. And by might be, I mean absolutely is. But I don't know, man. I mean, like, I can probably swing something with this, both literally and figuratively, when it comes to swinging around a shovel and also, you know, just attempting something. Now, it is going to require... I mean, I guess I'll try to get, like, a big area of enemies. Right, that I don't find any sort of foodstuffs around here. And see what's up? Maybe? I think about it like this. I got big synergies. I got big boy big synergies. Okay, he's going to try to go for the telluric shocks, though. Boy, you guys are really trying my patience. Yeah? Now, I do believe you owe me one more character that's about to come down here and attack me. There we go. Explode into the purple chunks that you were always meant to be. Okay, let's go. That's pretty good. I mean, it ain't too bad. It ain't too bad. That is I would say that's a successful, usage of the NightLight, and I'm going to keep it like that for right now. I might be back to, you know, give her a second go, worst comes to worst, but I don't want to risk it too much, since it's a very strange sort of thing to attempt doing that. Okay. Come on, I also have NightLight here ready to be used, after all. I got some big damage here, regardless of the kind of lackluster otherwise stats that I've been getting. Should be... Oh yeah, don't forget about that. Don't forget about the fact that I do, of course, always have the getting a stat, getting rid of cooldown. That's one of those things for big cooldown stuff that, you know, usually doesn't really come up that much, but I mean, I guess it comes up enough now, doesn't it? No, you know what? I'm just going to take out this that guy right there, because I do not like him. And I am actually going to go back and go... Well, I'm not going to go back. I'm going to go find another teleporter and go get that... This would be kind of like the place to use it, by the way. But, yeah... then again, against the double tracker fight, they got extra health to kind of make it so it will be easier to maybe attempt to get a lot of healing off of them. So I'm going to go back and I'm going to grab Vampirism. Gonna see how this one goes. Also, the oil and fire should work when it comes to water. I think. I'm not entirely sure, but I think this one will actually be able to function a little bit. I know one of the other things that you can get on this is like a cloud of toxic gas, which, you know, sure, NightLight, burning oil and everything like that. Toxic gas, I think, is fair. It's a fair thing to make it do. However, really? There we go. However, I didn't get that affix on here. Might have been worth trying to re-roll, but I don't know. There we are. Let's take a look. Yeah, not quite as much as I was hoping, but I still got... yeah, kind of swinging the same thing, unfortunately. I think I'm going to have to hit, like, multiple characters at once if I really want to get the most out of this thing. Almost got me in those spikes there, eh? Bet you feel pretty proud of yourself there, Royal Guard. And you should. I'm a wily character. Tough to get down. I don't think demons are quite the thing that I want to be trying to vampirism right now. It's not quite the level of risk that I want to take with myself. There we are, and one more. should be able to get the NightLight up soonish. Then hopefully there'll be some other decent monsters that I can use this against as well. Although at this point, with the amount of melees that I'm taking, it might be more worthwhile to just go and try and instead. What I got here around here, by the way. Oh, I got a guy attacking me, which I almost missed, which would have been potentially bad. Yeah, okay. Yeah, we're doing that, eh? I think I'm just going to take a potion charge instead. 11%? It's like I could try. No, not with a Royal Guard out there. Let's just do this and finish it up. Fine. That said, this is the point in time to be using that. Get my good synergies going. It's not the most common thing, but in boss fights, it should be coming up a little bit more in terms of usability. This is a very empty area. What? That's weird. That's usually not how Dead Cells do. Huh. Usually the way Dead Cells do is that areas that are empty should be filled with monsters that I'm supposed to be fighting. All right, then. I guess, oh, yeah, and there's the end right there. Okay, let's go fight this dude. Yeah, vampirism is one of those things that I like conceptually. It is quite difficult to use in the... Man, knocking him off the edge there really did a lot of good stuff for me, didn't it? Well, anyway, you know what also does a lot of good stuff for me? You know what also does a lot of good stuff for me? Punishment. It's a good shield. Yeah, should have maybe got like a couple parries off that guy. Would have been easy. You know, I'm noticing right now that, yeah, hitting stuff with punishment also does kind of seemingly proc me just a tad of that restorative rally. Something to think about. No, I'm not going to go back into the vampirism well. That's a little... Halloween's over, baby. We don't need to do it anymore. Anything else you want to give me, though? 100% on burning oil. Ain't too bad for that. Flawless is kind of... That's a little bit difficult to swing, though. Literally and figuratively. You know, if you know what I'm saying. Whereas the shovel, though, is quite good. I would definitely take a bazooki if they wanted to give me one that did 100% on burning oil. I mean, once again, I like myself a flawless, but it's just... It's hard to really get working. Also, yes, one other thing with the NightLight I'm noticing is that the fact that it immediately just explodes upon hitting the ground if you're not in the Sepulchre, I guess, does mean that it should be, you know, lighting that stuff on fire, but I guess it lights it on fire around you, and then I just get the... No, I don't even get the burns the ground when destroyed. Motion twin, fix game, etc. Like, I don't know if you've noticed this, but I should definitely have set the ground on fire there. I mean, at least it sets it on fire around me, but I don't know, it could be better. Come on, I'm doing these weird meme runs. Can't you kowtow to all of my needs? Good. All right, well, as I'm going for all three keys, because again, short episode otherwise. And by short episode, I mean it's going to be like a half-hour long anyway, and I'm also going to be putting up a secondary, like, bonus episode that I recorded a while ago on top of all of this to try and make up for that, but again, this is one of those things where a half-hour episode? Guy, you can't have episodes that short on your channel. It's like, when I'm pretty sure that's the standard for literally everyone else on YouTube, for example. My own neuroses come back to bite me once again. Well, anyway, boss fights, of course, like I was saying, are very rich in antioxidants and also parry potential. So I'm thinking that that's kind of where I'm going to be going for most of the NightLight usage. Because it certainly hasn't been here. I mean, I'm trying, but this is a gimmicky weapon meant for a hyper-specific purpose that I have already bypassed and no longer need. I didn't even use it once to try and actually get light, by the way. I do want to point that out. I don't know. Well, that's fun. But if I'm not taking the 300 damage Scythe Claw, I ain't taking that. I wonder how many people have already posted a comment being like, I can't believe you didn't take that Scythe Claw. Where is your sense of fun? The old Northern Lion would have been more zany. But no, it's a... I'm not actually that guy, right? Not nearly as Canadian. Okay, what are we looking at? Anything else that I need to go get? No, and nothing in the final area really looks like all that worthwhile. I mean, if any of those things over there were colorless, but looking at where they're spawning in, I'm just going to go. I got nearly 40,000 gold, and at most, all I really want is a potion charge in the final area. I think we'll be fine. I think we're cool. Looking good. In the meantime, how's this going to go against the Hand of the King? Well, hopefully I've been pretty garbage at parrying the dude as of lately. I hope that, a little bit of attention towards that is going to go a long way. That's the way I'm going to put it. As long as I can get the parries, there should be plenty of parry potential. The parry potential is high in here. It's like this should be, again, non-stop fire, non-stop damage from fire, and that's the ball game. That's basically what I'm saying right now. Five seconds off your cooldown is pretty nice. Okay. No, that's not quite what I was looking for. Okay, so it's not going to be non-stop like last time, but... I think I'm just going to clear out of there for that 1 second. Get that parry there easily. 2 easy parries right there. Good. Good again. 9 seconds left. There we go. Got another one down. And that was not, like I said, not quite the non-stop parry festival that I was hoping for. Pretty good, though. Actually, I should have went for trying to have that guy fall on top of the Hand of the King. That would have been a lot more fun and funny. Okay. Yeah. Oh, I didn't quite get the parry there, I guess. Obviously, this is working out well for trying to use the powerful grenade, but that's not quite was not quite the plan for the run. Also, that shovel, of course, works out well against just the Hand of the King entirely because of his bomb throwing ability, kind of in the same way that Wave Denial would, but didn't really get the chance to do that now in the actual Wave of Denial run. But that's it's just c'est la vie and all that. Anyway, yeah, that worked out well. But again, I think that if you're going to be taking this particular weapon into any boss fight, your best bet is probably going to be against the Timekeeper. Timekeeper is just quite good for that. There's a lot of positives when it comes to going up against the Timekeeper with a build like this. Because she is very Timekeeper and the Giant. But the Giant, of course, does not really have his hands on the ground more often than not, so it doesn't really, it's not too relevant in the grand scheme of trying to actually get the usage out of it. Whereas the Timekeeper is on the ground a lot, making that much nicer, much more worthwhile. Yeah, flying enemies, I mean, like anything that is very ground focused, of course, is going to be having a rough time with the... Just take everything. Anything that's ground-focused, much like the Telluric Shock run, is not going to work out super well against the few times that you can actually attack when it comes to... The few attacks that you can manage to wring out of the NightLight. That's an important thing to note. And now the bomb and the lower cooldown that I get doing everything with that suddenly becomes a lot more important. Hey, not bad. I mean, I don't know if I'm going to need that, but maybe I'll kind of keep it on the back burner just in case. I've already blown through all of the healing stuff that I have here. Bam, bam. There we go. That was a good combo. I mean, it certainly was a high-quality combo regardless. Anyway, let's take a look around here. There's not really too much I'm looking for in this final area, but I do still have the money that I think even after buying out the entire shop, I can probably get some good stuff coming from any shops around here. So if I see any place where I can do a little bit of light shopping, that will be priority number one. Aside from that, yeah, no, it's I think the build's sorted out. Punishment, I guess I might want to switch out for something that's going to be a little bit better against just single enemies, as you do. But aside from that, I don't know. There's nothing really that's all that important. There's certainly nothing that I'm thinking, oh yeah, if I'm going to be doing NightLight, I'm going to be using that, for example. I just went with survival just because, well, I do like myself a survival run. It's invisible, you say. I mean, I'm not one to turn down something like that. Let's see how it synergizes with the NightLight, which is the excuse, which is the pretext that he's using to try and get away with using this. We only got 20 seconds left, so I suppose that, you know, keeping safe while we're waiting for the cooldown, that's also another benefit that we're getting from this, right? 100% on burning oil wouldn't be too shabby at all. Would it be more damage? 31, 2, and 2. It's actually not. Huh. I guess my assessment of the Telluric Shock just kind of being a worse version of a lot of that stuff was actually correct the entire time. Who would have known? Who could have known? Well, with big cooldown reduction and everything, I think this is an obvious choice to make, right? I don't think anybody's going to argue with that. Just like bam, bam for, what was that, 1,000,000 damage or something? Yeah, that's good. What is this normally doing? Yeah, about 100,000 plus 100%, yeah. Yeah, actually, no, it was probably about 160,000 then if I was getting the full combo on there. I'm not entirely sure, because those, damage totals don't last for very long, after all. Well, anyway. Good. I mean, there's, of course, a number of different cooldown reductions, but I do think on top of just, I like survival, the one that you get with the parry is pretty hefty and is very useful for boss fights, which, oh no. Let's try and get out of here before that librarian noticed me. Wandering about. Yeah. I mean, maybe. Like I said, punishment is not, like, super great against a boss-type character. It's more good against the individual enemies, but I'd take something else, I suppose. Meantime, more health is better. Since I saw that you were going to be coming down to greet me. And as I mean, it says no solicitors on the door for a good reason. There. And one, and we're already ready to use the whistle again. I mean, I should have kept this in mind for, well, there's a lot, you know, I don't really think too much about the cooldown reduction type of stuff. Except in terms of, like, something like this, where I thought I did it the third time, whatever. In terms of something like this, which has just an absurdly huge cooldown time, but, I mean, clearly I should be, maybe. Especially since it seemingly works against ranged weapons. It's like, you know, come on. Okay, let's get rid of that. Come on. I want the stats more than anything else. I want to get to the 30. Okay? I want to get to my dirty 30 and leave it at that. And then we'll do this. And then totally miss, but hey, the upswing of the shovel actually hits librarians. That's interesting. Good luck getting off a full combo with the shovel when one of those guys are attacking you, but of course you didn't go for him. Giant has a very low, well, here, maybe. Giant has a very low opinion of the librarians, unfortunately. There. Whatever works and all that. I mean, I was kind of hoping to maybe kill him with the NightLight. Didn't quite happen in the way that I was hoping. Yeah. Sure. Well, anyway, I should probably go for some more parries. Thinking about it right now. Well, it's not quite what I wanted to have happen, but it works. Oh, and he's back anyway. Now then. 60 seconds left. A full minute, man. I don't know. Yeah? Slammer having a little bit of difficulty. Fair enough. I'll wait for them to come back. There's the alien key, and now I am out of here, I guess. I don't know. Whatever. It's working. This is a functional run. Make sure I can just go down here. Yeah. Okay. Of course. Uh-huh. I mean, I was giving it his all, I suppose. Sure. Easier time when I get actually into the area and all that. Good. And bam. What's a good place for the light of night usage? Sure. I hate those guys. Light up that night. Now, anyways, is this actually worthwhile? I don't know. I kind of want to just keep big stat that I got right now. Not worry too much about anything else. As for anything else, I don't think... It doesn't look like I'm even going to be finding anything on the outside of the tower. So that's fine by me. Really, I would have gone for the horrible bird. Well, I did keep that one piece of food down there for good reason, after all. Because I knew something like that probably would happen. And it did. So who's the fool now? Me for getting hit in the first place. You got me. Congratulations. Of course. That's why you got the cheese method after all. Hey, I'm dressed like one of you guys, by the way. That's fun. Okay. Yeah, let's go back up and grab that. Even with only a malaise point, I'm totally okay with it. As a... You need to restock your shop. You used to have restocks in the re-rolls, i.e. restocks in the food shops. Not anymore, but still. I'm just saying, I'd like to see a return. Because I want to, cheat. You got enough money, you should be allowed to cheat. No, that's no. You know what? I retract that statement. Good. Because I knew, again, flying enemy. Actually, good. Here's a question. Does the cooldown reduction work on traps? Because that's... I don't know. I mean, is that really... I mean, look, I'm going to do it anyway. Yes, actually. So, that's cool. Now, there's the obvious question here of... Is that really... How... Really? Are you going to really... Is that really what you're going to be doing right now? And the answer is no, but... I mean, weren't you curious? I was curious. There. I mean, just like a little bit, though. It could also probably be used to cheese out, like using the giant's whistle over and over without it taking too much time, but also, I don't know, man. It's... This is one of those, like, are you sure? It's one of those Linux is free if you do not value your time sort of things, I guess I would call it. Yeah, I'm probably going to want to take a potion charge then. That's okay. That's how it be sometimes, but yeah, of course, would I prefer to not have to take a potion charge? Always. But when it comes down to it, I will. Now, what was I even gonna... Was there anything else to do in here? I've entirely forgotten. I guess not. Probably gonna go switch out the mutations and everything, get a little bit more health and all that. Obviously keep the can't parry against these guys. Obviously keep, like, most of the stuff I got going on here, but... well, not even most of the stuff. Just Blind Faith, I think, is the only thing that's going to be real useful here. I don't have the Guardian's Key. What? Did I miss one? Right, those are dropped from the birds. Okay. That's the stupidest way for me to get kind of hung up on something there now, isn't it? When it's like, yes, you need to have both of the keys that the enemies you just fought drop. An interesting conundrum. Anyway, yeah, and then, like I said, Blind Faith, and I'm going to take, I mean, you know, successful parries and everything kind of work out as well. How about just, you know what, extended healing? That's fine. Elites will occasionally heal some malaise. It's so infrequent, and never when you want it to be. Mostly because it's super infrequent. Just kind of how that goes. Anyway, let's get up here. Because, I mean, I think that, yeah, the Collector here does provide a lot of opportunities for parries. And that's kind of what I'm going to be looking at. That's the plan right now. Set up some good synergies and everything like that. No, not quite. Punch him already. Now you went for one more. Oh, that was actually also another parry opportunity. I probably should have taken it. But that's okay. What? Okay, well, that was a weird thing. I guess he got interrupted, so he just decided, no, I'm still going to do that attack, even if you can't, you know, have any possibility of getting hit by it. Actually, this is a parryable opportunity. Yes, perfect. 10 seconds left on the cooldown. We're looking good. No, that doesn't actually hit him from there. I don't know. I thought there might have been a point. Good. Good stuff. 2, 3, 4. Yeah, just going for the 4 this time? Fine, I say. Yeah. Extended healing might actually be worthwhile for just... you know what, let's go. Keep this nice and easy, and both sleazy and easy. Giant's Whistle doing just fine here as well. Also the stun time, apparently. Hey, that third hit on the shovel does do stun. See a little bit more of that in the actual shovel episode. It's shockingly effective. Parry, 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 parry. Just keep abusing the parries. Anyway. Should be able to get to final phase pretty easy from here. Would, of course, prefer a little bit more healing here, but this is fine. Yep. Pretty big boy, big hits from the giant, of course. But I kind of always expect that. He's a good guy in that way. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2. Oh, no, just the 2? Okay. Come on, at least let me get one more NightLight out here. I want to actually try and finish him off with the NightLight. No reason for that, but other than I think it would be pretty funny. Hey. Yeah, just be sure. Bah. 2, 3, 4. Wow, that wasn't enough? Get down, like, wear the health down a little bit, and then bam, let's go. I didn't actually do all that much damage. There. Whatever, it works. Alright, well, yeah. I mean, okay, well, hey, NightLight is not actually a usable item. Whoa, boy, who could have guessed that one was going to be coming here? But I think it's worth it for a fun episode and a pretty easy win, let's be honest, as well. Note to self, use Blind Faith a little bit more.